Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you love these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. If you love this watch, and I certainly do, you can see it and purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. That is correct. This 2010 500-piece limited edition titanium Piaget Polo FortyFive is a timepiece I love unreasonably. I love its fit, I love the concept, the detailing, the exuberance, and the fact that the watch is resolutely Piaget, right down to the traditional 1970s polo-style gadrons across the strap. A timepiece with immense brand character and 100-meter water-resistant, luminescent, and automatic, and all the time watch that is nevertheless thin enough at only 10.8 millimeters thick to slip underneath any dress cuff. So the timepiece, as per its name, is 45 millimeters in diameter. This is more of an oval watch from 9 to 3, and you can see that from head on. The watch being under 11 millimeters thick means, compared to a Rolex Daytona, this watch is over 1.5 millimeters thinner, and that is impressive when you're talking slim timepieces. It's broad across the wrist, but nicely cambered and curved around the wrist. My wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference, and you can see the watch is 51.5 millimeters lug-to-lug, but it wears very compact because of the shape of the entire strap and case system. Of course, this is a proprietary strap and it is a proprietary strap lug junction, but you can see how fluid it is. The original Polos launched in the 1970s integrated of bracelet and case and lug, and all of that continues on the sports-oriented Polo FortyFive. I also love the fact that the grayscale is maintained by the strap, which is a wonderful anthracite, a color you don't often see in natural vulcanized rubber. You'll also note that the gadrons continue first in polished metal, grade 5 titanium, and then molded into the strap. There's a character line to give it a little bit of body and attention to detail. Piaget has created an evacuated section underneath both sides to let the wrist breathe a bit and secured this strap firmly to the case using screws. No spring bars to malfunction right here, but note that unlike the Royal Oak and the Overseas, they managed to do so without making the screws externally visible. That is a very clean look. The strap itself features several different cut lines, and you can see just how many cut options you get on both sides. Piaget wants you to fit precisely when you put this watch on. You'll also note that there are two incremental sizing adjustments, one on each side of the twin-trigger double deployant clasp, and the clasp is a redoubtable piece, quite secure, massive, and, like the rest of the watch, graced with polished gadrons. Note the contrast between the satin and the polish, and the satin horizontal, beautiful, and consistent. This watch is all about design harmony and continuity. Jumping back to the case, you can see that the bezel traces the outline of the case and the lugs. The gadrons stretch from side to side, and the dial itself is wonderfully open, deep, and expressive. There's color. You have grayscale, and then you also have red, shocks of red, around the seconds and minutes track outboard. Of course, the varnished hand at center, and note how the counterbalance is of high polish and the hand itself is varnished red. You have tri-Arabics in a most unconventional splayed out pattern, sort of an invert Y or propeller arrangement. You have 4, 8, and 12. The watch is robustly loomed, and there will be a loom shot. All applique polished metal indices. You can see the keyless works of the caliber 800P movement underneath, as well as the date jumper mechanism. There is a date at 6 o'clock, the watch with both stop seconds and a quick set date, so you can rapidly cycle the date should the watch encounter an irregular length month. The crown features the same gadron pattern as the strap, the clasp, and the bezel. It is a screw down. The watch is 100 meters water resistant. You can see the outer facing with the Piaget P. Underneath the case back, you can see Piaget twin barrel, caliber 800P, 25 joule automatic winding, ceramic rotor bearings, all in-house, full balance bridge for shock resistance. Twin mainspring barrels offer you both an even torque release from max wind to minimum wind, and in this case, an extensive power reserve of 85 hours. All this beaten away at 21,600 vibrations per hour, nicely decorated with the real deal. As you can see, kiln-fired blue oxidized rather than dyed screws, circular Cote de Genève across the winding mass as well as across the bridges. It's a handsome watch, and I love the flanking, almost manta wing pattern of the bridges adjacent to the balance itself. It's a handsome and traditionally manufactured movement that nevertheless has a little bit of toughness with the full balance bridge, high horology finish, real pedigree as Piaget makes this movement in-house, and of course long legs. So if this isn't an everyday watch for you, it has more than 3 days of power reserve to keep ticking away. I love the depth of the dial. I love being able to see the perlage on the base plate beneath. I love the fact that this watch screams Piaget brand character and heritage with design elements dating back to those first polos of the 1970s. Truthfully, this is what the Polo S should have been. Resolutely Piaget, it owes nothing to the likes of Audemars Piguet, Patek Philippe, or Vacheron Constantin. Uniquely of the Cote company, you can see the timepiece, wonderfully symmetrical, about all different elements, right down to the form of the guidrons on the crown, and wonderfully fit even to a small wrist. I can recommend this one for wrists as small as 14.5 centimeters circumference. See the most entertaining Piaget I've encountered recently, and make it yours on the watch box. Piaget Polo 45, a true sports watch by night.